guys, welcome back to Practically Creative. This is Melissa. How are you guys today? I am doing pretty well. Let's see, I want to put live chat up here so I can see if and when anybody comes in. So I am working today on the double sawtooth block. Trying to make sure I've got everything muted here so that we don't get feedback and echoes. And this is the double sawtooth block from the Quilt Builder card deck box. I wish I could say that without stuttering every single time. I have got that. I've got some mail to go over. A couple of different things today. And I got some fun facts. I'm in the 1900s for subscriber count. So I keep looking, what was the quilting style during that year, because I think it's kind of fun. So this morning I was looking, and 1927 was the Great Depression. And hello, Charlotte, how are you today? 1927 was the Great Depression, so crazy quilts were really popular. And an interesting fact I found is that a lot of the 1920s quilt patterns were again really popular in the 1940s. So people were reusing everything they could reuse and using different fabrics than we traditionally think of as quilt fabrics. We think of cotton whenever we think of quilting fabric, but in the 20s they were really into putting things in there that weren't traditionally quilted products. They put in silk, they put in upholstery fabric, they put in a little bit of everything. Hello, Colleen. Busy with embroidery. Hey, Lori. Lori, you're supposed to be asleep, taking your antibiotics and resting. Is she not feeling good? There's Nightbot. I like fun facts about history, too. I think it's kind of cool. I didn't pull any of those pictures to show you guys. Excuse me. Clear my throat here. I didn't pull any of those pictures to show you because I didn't have time to check copyrights on any of them. But I did do some Googling, and you may get a short on that in a little bit. So, and speaking of fun facts and things that people have always made, pincushion. It's a bird, even though you really can't tell. And I couldn't tell you when I made this, but we've been digging through some boxes here, trying to get things weeded out. And Wayne found this, and I was just like, oh. So the little bird needs eyes, so maybe I'll go dig in my button jar today and get some eyes before it's all over with. Not during the live, but sometime today. You set your alarm. I appreciate that, Lori. Yeah, isn't it adorable? Wonder where I get my fixation on pin cushions at. I've been making them since I was knee-high, apparently. Because I think I made this one probably when I first started sewing. So I was, early 20s myself. It's been a day or two since I made it. And the other thing, I'm going to point this out right now. You guys see this? How in the world do you start getting zits again in your 50s? I'm like, really? This is not fun. So I was going to slap makeup on, and I thought then everybody would definitely ask me what's wrong. So I don't know what's going on with it. I'm postmenopausal by quite a few years. So it couldn't be that. And I don't know. I'm like, okay. So I'm back to using Clean and Clear and Witch Hazel and all that stuff on my face. This one's sore. I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping that it will clear itself up very quickly. Yeah, I love pincushions too. Sylvia's really good about finding pincushion patterns and sending them to me. And if I made every pincushion pattern she sent me, which I want to do, I would be probably invaded by pincushions. It'd be like Tribbles from Star Trek. So, but anyway, so we're going to work on, and this is not going to be a 2-hour live today. I cannot do that. And I'm not going to subject you guys to that again. So I did put this up. Well, let's see if it'll show for you. Trying to make sure. Oh, thank you very much for telling me I'm being live streamed. This is the pattern for our block today, and I did it in pink and green. You can do it in whatever color you want. This is up on my community tab with the cutting instructions. But I discovered right before I went live, because I was making one, that I left out one of the cutting things. On your background fabric, you need 4 2 1/8 inch squares. I hate the 1/8 cuts. Make them bigger. I don't care. Do whatever you want. I'm doing it according to the instructions that I found. And then there's an easier way to do the block. There isn't really an easier way to do this one than the way they gave you. It's a fairly simple block. So I'm going to walk you through how to put the block together. I've got a good portion of it done this week. I went ahead and I made my flying geese for the center. And I have started my flying geese. Let me turn that iron back on while I'm thinking about that. I've started my flying geese for the outer layer, and I need to iron them and add the other side of the flying goose. But I thought that gave us enough of a head start that I could still show you how to make the flying geese blocks without you guys having to watch me chain piece for an hour. Yes, you did raise the tide today. Have you guys seen... Okay, a couple of things before we start sewing. I know you're all anxious to sew, but 2 things. One is Colleen was on... she did a pre-recorded live with Marie's Scrappy Creations, and I have watched it twice but haven't listened to it yet. Because it's... I was making shorts this morning because of Colleen. It's Colleen's fault I haven't heard it. I was making shorts because she put up a challenge this morning for us to all do ASMR shorts. Me, her, and Sylvia. And hi Diane, how are you today? So we all did ASMR shorts, and of course it takes more than 15 seconds to make those videos. Who knew, right? So we've got shorts going up for each other. Little fun challenge, something for, you guys to all see today, and a little, tease back and forth between us. So if you get a chance to watch those. But so Colleen has been busy today. Don't let her lie to you and say that she hasn't. And I'm going to quickly iron these flying geese that I've already started. I'm going to iron those over. And then I will bring you guys down so you can see the sewing machine. And I'll show you how I'm sewing together the flying geese. I'm sure all of you can do it, but I am doing these as a beginner block series. So I want to make sure that if there is someone who hasn't sewn flying geese or isn't real confident with it, that they can see how to do it a very simple, easy way. There are quite a few different ways to make multiple flying geese at a time. They don't gel with my brain. Colleen's done a video on it. Sylvia's done a video on it. And there are a couple of them out there that have done some really good videos. So if you want to learn how to make flying geese 4 at a time, I'm going to recommend that you look for a video from somebody, because Melissa doesn't. My brain doesn't get that one. Well, hello, Lori at Quilting in the Country. How are you today? Hi, Diane Sozio. I am good today. I've got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I had a sore throat last week, and I'm not sure what was up with that. We are going to change camera angles now so that you guys can see my table and clear my throat again, me and that frog. So I've got my flying geese, and I'm looking back over here at my camera. These 4 are ready to go. These are all done, and I've just laid them out where they go in this block. Yeah, I'm glad to see Lori this week. Hopefully that means things are starting to chill out for her. And that means maybe we'll get her back on live soon. I always like talking to Lori, at 4 a.m. when I wake up, and I'm like, hey, what am I going to do? I'll go talk to Quilting in the Country because she's on live. She may not be doing 4 a.m. lives anymore. She's got all the kids, I guess, staying with her now. Which is fine. I don't know if I'd be able to handle my entire Viking horde. I have 21 of them. Alright, so all I'm doing to make this flying goose, and you guys can see that okay, is I'm laying out the first part of the flying goose block that I create, flying geese. I don't know why I want to make it singular. I know there was a big debate somewhere on it. And I'm going to put a 1/4 inch seam in this. And I really wanted to do this on my Juki today. But since most of these blocks will be going into one quilt, I'm trying to stick with one machine for the whole thing. And I'm going to chain piece. Luckily my color fabrics are reversible. They're the same on both sides. So I don't have to worry about have I got the right side or the wrong side. But if you do have right side or wrong side, you will have to pay attention to which way your fabric is cut. I was thinking ahead when I cut my fabric. Hello, Tracy. Tracy. Diane, what happened? Uh-oh, not good. Oh, Diane, I'm so sorry. Do you have arthritis also, Diane, or are you afflicted with something else? Arthur runs my life, apparently. And I always say, my granny used to say that she talked about Arthur like he was a real person, and I was like, why are you doing that, Granny? That's kind of weird. Now I get it. Now I get it. And you may have told me what causes your pain level, Diane. I apologize if you did. My brain isn't coming up with it today. My only excuse is that I've been a bit under the weather myself. That's why I have a froggy. Oh, I thought that had come unthreaded on me. I was like, no, don't do that. So I've got my 4 flying geese sewn, and that took less time. Do I see Sylvia? Hello, Sylvia. Sylvia. There's only one song that goes with Sylvia, and she doesn't like it. I don't like it. I like Dr. Hook. I like the song, but if it's a song you don't like... Oh, no, Diane. I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you had cancer, and I really feel for you on the nerve damage. I skipped my mail, too. I'll have to go back and go over the mail with you guys. And now all I'm doing, I thought I had it in camera range, but apparently I don't, is I'm just giving my flying geese a quick iron so that I can put them into the block and sew the block together. This one's way easier than last week's block was, thank goodness. I will definitely add you to my prayers, Diane. Okay, and then these go in here like this. And Diane reminds me that I have mail I want to show you guys, because she's in the sew-along that I joined. Alright, so this is our entire block laid out here. Hopefully you can see all of it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this the same way I did last week. I'm going to sew this center together, and then I'm going to do this row, and then we'll put it all together. And if I have done this correctly as far as sizes. When I put this center part together, these two will fit exactly on it. Oh, I love Sylvia's accent too. Isn't it great? Let's see. Let's do this way. I think I may have cut my little squares too big, but we'll trim them out if I did. That's the beauty of quilting. I think I made an assumption there, and my assumption is wrong. It's alright, we will make it work. I watch Project Runway a lot. It's like my relaxation show. I don't know why those people get on there and they are mean and nasty to one another, but I still watch it a lot. And I love it when Tim Gunn tells them, make it work, make it work. And I'm like, yeah, okay. This is basically the traditional method on flying geese. Yes, Colleen. Actually, from what I can gather out of some of my older quilting books, flying geese were originally done with cardboard templates. And that's why you see so many wonky flying geese in older quilts, is because people cut them out of cardboard, they cut them out of cereal boxes or paper or whatever they had. And then they, if you're reusing a template over and over again, they have a tendency to, especially if they're made of paper or cardboard, they have a tendency to stretch or shrink or get a little tiny shaving taken off. So, unless you made lots and lots of templates, and that might not have been practical for quilters back then, you might end up with, your flying geese at the end of your quilt being just a wee bit smaller than the flying geese you started with at the beginning. And I'm just putting my little block together, nesting my seams at the center. And I said this last week, but I don't blame anybody who checked out on that one because it was so long. I use the Jenny Doan method. I make sure my first intersection matches, and then I work on the second one. I think that one's probably going to be wonky when I'm done too there. No, that did pretty good. Hello, Liz Yule. I'm getting very old, huh? Okay. Oh, awesome. You sewed hourglasses. Yeah, most quilt blocks were originally done with cardboard templates, I think. I am getting old. I'm 56. I mean, what's the option? Thank you, Colleen. Unless the next comment's a whole lot nicer, yeah. Gee, just when you think it's safe to open your lives back up to commentary. Oh well. Somebody's getting old. That one didn't quite give me a 1/4 inch seam, so I'm gonna fix that. And gee, I thought I was getting younger this whole time. Okay. Yeah, cardboard templates were really common. I actually have a book that gives me... I have a bunch of older quilt books. I love thrift store shopping for them. And I have some that have some really old patterns in them. And I have one from, I think it's 1973. I put a short up about a few days ago. That gives you, like, in the back of the book, they tell you literally how to create your own templates and what to use to make them, and cereal boxes, parchment paper, anything that you could trace onto. And then they suggest you trace it onto paper and then use it for like tracing onto cardboard. Yeah, you had to check if that one was a new person on YouTube. Yeah. Oh, well, that's good because, you know, I'd hate for Brenda and you to have to kill somebody because they stole Brenda's quilt. That would be a he needed beaten offense. You see what I just did there? I had all those little pieces that were hanging out. I just squared it right up and used it for what I needed. So now we have our little block, and I've still got all my points and a 1/4 inch around those points. Yep, make sure. I tell you what, if somebody wants to hijack a quilt, they need to beg you to make them their own. And what I'm going to do here, and I did this on the center section too, is I went ahead and my brain just froze. Where'd it go? Oh, I'm going ahead and taking off the little dog ears down here at the bottom and just evening it out, because that's the part that goes around the center block that I need to have a straight line on. And then I'll square up the outside of the block when we get done here. You do spoil Brenda, but you know what? I'm quite certain that at various times Brenda has spoiled you as well. So that's what friends are for, is to help one another out. I could have said, "Oh, Colleen, you're making so much work for me today," when she threw that video challenge at me. But instead what I said was, "Let's go. Let's have a good time." That's the kind of stuff that you do. It It's not about, let's give each other a hard time. And guys, like I said, if you didn't see the pre-recorded video that Colleen and Marie did, you should definitely go check it out. Like I said, I've watched it twice and I haven't listened to it. Because every time I start watching it, something else happens. My husband is on a lot of phone calls today. Yeah, we definitely need to get Lori back to doing videos. Making lives and doing videos. And then we can harass her on video instead of just her harassing us, right? Aww. See, now that's a friend. Somebody who will sit with you while you are in labor. And believe me, I know. I love my sister. I love my sister with everything in my heart and soul. I mean, she was handed to me when she was 8. Or when I was 8, and they said, here you go, take care of her, because my mom was sick. And my mom I think she had a stroke while having my sister. Nobody would tell me that part. They just told me, give the baby bottles and change diapers, right? But when my sister had her son, she was 16, if I remember right, 15 or 16. And she would not let me leave her side. So I stood there for 18 hours and counted to 10 for way too many of them. And helped her deliver her son. I don't regret doing that at all. Her son is now 32, I think. But sitting with anyone in labor is a labor of love. And if Brenda did that for you, that's awesome, Tracy. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just lining it up and sewing it together. I watched it on yours, Colleen. I love Marie to death. No issues at all, but trying to give you the watch time. That's my goal. We're getting there, guys. It's almost like 2 more seams, 3 more. I like the pinky. It feels springy, doesn't it, Lori? It just feels like spring. And I got thread going everywhere here. What are you doing? Over there. Stay out of my way. Let me talk to the sewing machine like it understands what I'm saying, right? This piece here. And see, guys, I told you I wasn't going to make you suffer with a huge long video today. We'll do about an hour, but last week was like, whoa. By the time I finished, my shoulders were like, what are you doing? And after I got off the live, I finished that block because I wanted that block done. Yeah, well, you're almost at the sub count for monetization, Colleen. But the watch time, is harder to get for most people. Speaking of watch time, guys, I announced this Monday night, but all of you weren't here, so you might not have heard it. I have 1 million views on YouTube, which just is mind blowing for me. I was saying on Monday that I'm like, really? 1 million times people have wanted to see my crazy ideas? That's just incredible. And mind blowing. So I'm like, really? I did not fix the wrong blockets. Yeah. Only you. I love you. I didn't. It's still hanging up there. I haven't pulled it back down because I haven't felt like playing with Jack. But it is on my list, and there is a pin in the block to remind me. And now that we have given our block some iron love, let's bring it back over here where you can see it. I feel like I'm going the wrong direction to get it in for you guys. There we go. So there's today's block. It is great, amazing, scary. I'm like, ah. And that is called a double sawtooth because you've got the 2 rows of flying geese around it. I did lose my points a little bit there on these 2 side flying geese, but I'm not going to worry about it, obviously. Thank you, Tracy. Okay. Guess I'm the only person who doesn't do that. Okay, switch cameras. So y'all don't have to look at that. Thank you, thank you. And if you look over my shoulder here, you can see that I'm putting all of my blocks up on that design wall sheet. Mine seems to do okay with starch, Sylvia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I like it. And I like the colors. I mean, these are literally, I know people talk smack about Walmart fabrics and they're not so great or whatever. Get over it. These are Walmart fat quarters. I mean, fabric is fabric for the most part, unless you're wanting fabric from a specific designer. It's just fabric, you know? It's only fabric and it's only thread. And I can butcher a block in $1 a fat quarter fabric just as well as I can butcher it in fabric that costs $5 a fat quarter. But I feel a whole lot better about it if it's only $1 fat quarter, right? And then, let's see, goodies. Yeah, I have to kind of let the starch set too. I didn't think about that, Colleen. Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. I got my first Cotton Cuts package, and I have a invitation to do it with Stephanie at Stephanie Stitches. So I'm not opening it until probably the afternoon of that. My brain just went, I'm not opening it until the afternoon of that Zoom so long. So I'm going to put that aside. And I didn't open this before the live because I was like, this has been the biggest craziness that I have seen. I ordered this at the same time as I ordered the dime snap hoop. And this rotary cutter mat has been a huge problem. It was, first I got a set of golf tournament bling. I don't golf. That had already gone by. So it was like the plastic bags and name tags and stuff for some people named Dave and Dawn. And that's definitely not our names. And I think I know a Dawn, but you know, she's in Texas. And this was intended for someone in Florida, so I called the company and they were like, oh no, it shows it shipped. And I'm like, well, okay, but this is what I got. Here's the pictures. So they said, oh, we'll take care of it. We'll ship you a new one out. Well, it didn't come. It didn't come. It didn't come. Finally, I called them day before yesterday, and I said, where is my rotary mat? I mean, I've had the snap hoop now for, 2 weeks. Where's the mat? So they reshipped the mat. And the mat showed up yesterday. I was like, okay, you guys have, because it's allbraids.com, and their shipping is usually super fast. So I was really upset that, this was like, I guess it went all over the world. But the delivery thing that I got for it yesterday said that they had delivered it to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And while I love saying Baton Rouge, and it reminds me of Garth Brooks songs, go down that rabbit hole with me. I was like, yeah, I really would rather it be at my house and ready to spin. So here's my 14-inch cutting mat, and I am going to put it right down here where I can use it whenever I make these blocks. It would have been really handy for this Dutch sawtooth block, or double sawtooth block. Dutch rose and double sawtooth tied together in my brain, because it would have been easier to turn to get those little 2 1/8-inch cuts. Let's see, Brandy. Oh, Lori, you ordered it too? And Colleen's shirts that she's been waiting on for 2 or 3 weeks now are now in California. Oh, no, Brandy, I'm right with you. I'm always editing or doing something else while I'm on here. When I was first starting YouTube, I was like, oh, all these other older, bigger creators come in and they're like, oh, I'm editing, I'll be here, but I'm just listening. And I was like, yeah, you're just being stuck up. Now I have to apologize to all of them because I'm in the exact same boat. If I filmed, it's going to be a day of editing no matter what. Because, yeah, you can't just put it up there raw. Well, I guess you could, but then you'd have, every time somebody decides to go to the bathroom, and, that gets recorded because they didn't, it's not soundproof between here and the bathroom. Or every time that, somebody knocks on the door and the dog barks, or, the neighbors come beating on the door because your cow's out or their cow's out and they need help. Yeah, you guys would get all of that, and I don't think you want it. Back when I first started, I didn't mind letting you guys listen to the baby chicks. But now I don't really think that you guys want to hear the chickens squawking and, doing their song, the song of their people for when they lay eggs. Because they make a lot of noise when they do. Only iron the fabric, no starch or steam. Diane, thank you. Yeah, well, I was actually thinking earlier that I would challenge, Brandy and my quilt projects and some of you other creators that come in and out. But, maybe I should warn them ahead of time rather than just throwing it at them. Yeah, putting it's always a challenge figuring out what you're going to put up raw and what you don't really want to put up raw, right? And iron after piecing each section of a block. Okay. Yeah, it took you 3 hours to make a shirt. Well, it did take you 3 hours to make a shirt. I know better than that. It took you 3 hours to film making a shirt. Because you have to move the camera, then you have to check and see if the angle's right, and then, did that pick up what I said, or was the machine too loud, or, yeah. And I only recently discovered that the program I use to film, Zoom, actually has noise suppression that you can turn on and off. So when I'm doing ASMR videos, I have to make sure that I turn the noise suppression off so it'll pick up the sewing machine. If you leave the noise suppression on, then when we're doing a chat like this and I go to sew, the sewing machine doesn't drown me out. Oh, no, Diane. Diane, I'm not offended at all. I'm hoping that those instructions are in the package as well. But yeah, I've never done a cotton cuts before. And I'm trying it because I love the colorway, the teal colorway, and it's called something else completely. So I'm definitely trying it. If I like it as much in person, I may not continue with it, but then again, I might. You never can tell. So, yeah. Alright, so this was last week's block. This is the one that was crazy. And it's up on the wall. This is this week's block, and it's done. I have another one cut up there that I'm going to make, probably not this afternoon, because I want to get caught up on Sylvia's blocks. My goal for today, especially now that I got my little cutting mat, I want to get caught up on Sylvia's FPP block because she's got another one coming out tomorrow, right, Sylvia? I don't know, Diane. Let's look. I guess I will be opening it before then. But it's okay. It's my package. I can do that. I do like the fact that they come in this nice cardboard package. It's not all plastic. Okay. I thought I was going to open it. Yeah, it's opening. It's just taking me a second. Alright. You want a sneak peek at my colors? Oh, that's cool. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? I'm taking a peek at my fabric for my cotton cuts for this weekend. I think that is a batik, Diane. That blue. And I like it even better. Oh, there is a pin in it. I don't want to take everything out because I'm sure there's an order. But I love that blue, and it's kind of a tealy blue. Hello, Marie. How are you? So see, and then it's got, I guess, I don't know if I'm supposed to show that. There's a, like, guide on the back for how you put it together. And I'm doing small, if that makes a difference. But, yeah. That's really pretty, and it does look like a batik. I'm copycatting off of one of the girls that was in Stephanie's chat last week. I was like, yeah, another sew along, whatever. And then Karen was her name, and I don't remember her last name, but she showed hers, and I was like, oh, fabric. And I lusted after the fabric, so that's when I finally had to go sign up. Yeah, I love those color too. I was talking about you, Stephanie. Yep. Yes, it is in Missouri. I had to look. Is the little bag like a goodie bag that I can open safely? Like I said, I wasn't going to open it until Saturday. But then Diane was like, ooh, is it batiks? And I wasn't sure. Oh, holy cow. Holy cow. Did you guys see all that? And she gave me 2 key rings. Oh my goodness. Guys. Wow, that is cool. That's very cool. Well, I may have to just give those away. That's awesome, though. That pin's a great size, though, for somebody with arthritis like me. Coley, Stephanie, say no. You don't know how to do Rubik's Cubes. Coley will be teaching you. Yes, that's awesome. And I do like those key rings. That's really cool. They've got the little logo on them. And they're a good size to be able to find in your purse. I may have to put that in my little giveaway stash. Because we're coming up on a big number for giveaways. Pretty soon. I mean, I hope anyway. And do I want a blue or an orange for me? I think I want blue. So there's some pins and some key rings that are going to be up. Maybe we'll do them on a live or a sewing bee or something. So that gets put right there. And I have a pretty pen. And I'm going to put that pretty pen on the package so that if I need to write down in the instructions, then I will do that. Yeah. Well, Diane, I did, whenever I set this up, it asked if I was, or maybe it gave me a second line to put, because I did put that I was a YouTuber in there. They do look like old motel key rings, Brandy, and we just both dated ourselves. I got told I was getting old earlier anyway, so, you know, I'm 56, I guess I am. But I'm not that old, because I'm still getting zits, or I just started getting zits again. I'm like, what is up with that? Yeah, now we know how old me, Brandy, and Sherlock are. Yeah, Stephanie, we'll do a Discord chat later on and explain it to you. It's easy. She had to explain a couple of things about it to me this morning, so don't feel bad. I'm actually pretty good with shorts, but Colleen is not afraid to push the buttons. She will try anything once, twice as she likes it. That didn't sound very nice. She's way braver with the shorts and pushing YouTube's buttons than I am, because I'm always afraid I'm going to delete everything. Oh, Marie, you're right there with us, right in the same age group. Did those look like motel room key rings to you? Did you see the key rings? Hello, Ingrid. How are you today? I don't want to take it out in case I do put it as a giveaway. But you're not real old. But see, don't they kind of look... Because those motel room key rings were big enough that it was hard to lose them. And the other thing, I don't know if anybody remembers this besides me, but I worked in convenience stores. My mom worked in convenience stores for a lot of years, and I worked convenience stores for her, with her, on my own. And we used to have, like, somebody would come in to get the key, and you'd give them something this size with a little key attached for the bathroom door, so they couldn't take the key home with them. And it wasn't that we were afraid of them stealing them. It was that it's easy to stick a key in your pocket and forget you've got it, unless it's on a piece of plastic the size of your head, you know? So I remember that, and I always thought, geez. You'll be 70 in June. Diane, I saw you on Stephanie's cotton cuts last month. You do not look 70 at all. Yes. We're still young. You know what? Age is just a number. It all depends on how you feel. If you feel like you're still kicking around, then you're fine. And I think probably the youngest person in here is Stephanie from Quilting at Stephanie. From Quilting at Stephanie Stitches. Sylvia, I'm going to beat you. You're only as old as the fella you feel. Oh my goodness. You're so bad. Yeah, or a slab of wood, Tracy. Right. Anything that's too big to put in your pocket. That you can't, you know, just put in your pocket and walk away with. Because getting those bathrooms rekeyed is a pain. And I always used to just, you know, whenever I got a new store to deal with, I would make extra copies of the bathroom keys and put them in my purse. Because it's inevitable that someone's going to walk away with the bathroom key at least once a week, even if it is on a log. And I've thought sometimes that maybe you should just get a log, but then, how do you hand it to a 4-year-old to carry out to the bathroom? Yeah, Discord's actually easy. A large sweet William. I don't know what mine's called. What color is Sweet William, Ingrid? I don't know what mine's called. Now I get to feel dumb, right? I'll have to look it up. It's blues. And I knew what it was called, maybe Cameo? I knew what it was called when I ordered it, because I asked like 4 times. Oh, yeah. You are young, Stephanie. You are young. You're what? Maybe in your 40s at most? I mean, you've got a 4-year-old, so maybe you're even younger than that. Maybe in your 30s. You're young. You're young. Accept it as a compliment. Accept it as a compliment and be done with it. Okay. Sweet Williams white and blue. Ooh, awesome, Diane. Nothing wrong with that, Stephanie. My one stepdaughter didn't start till she was, I don't think they even got married till she was like 32. Yeah, 31 or 32. And then they had 2 kids just basically back to back. And maybe they're going to have another. So if they're going to have another one, it'll be fairly soon. Late 40s. Late 40s. Yeah, I don't believe it. Unless you're like 45 and a half. But yeah. Well, hello, Star. How are you today? Okay, so real quick before we get ready to go, does anybody have any questions on the quilt blocks that I did today, or the ones that I've done over the last couple of weeks? Does anybody have any requests about future quilt blocks? Because I am getting ready to dig out the deck and pull the next one. I'm not doing that one next. I learned my lesson. Gee, oh, here's one I can do. These are the next 2 in a row. I'm like, yeah, let's tuck them right back in there for a minute. Let's do Jewel Box next. How's that one? What do you think? We'll do that one, and I will get everything put together for it. And Wednesday I'll put up your cut list, and I will look at it and see if I can do it easier than what they have in the box. This week's block I could not do easier than what they had in the box unless I did the 4 at a time flying geese, and obviously that's not my strong suit. So yeah, we definitely need to get Dawn on board with remixing. She'll have fun with it. Dawn has got old singer. It's like 70 years old. That would be cool to remix from. You like that one too, Sylvia? Yeah. Simple seems to be what I would like to see next. Aw, thank you, Diane. I appreciate that. And I have to... Oh, she was talking to Stephanie. Okay. I like Stephanie's choices too. And Stephanie, did you visit the sewing bee? Because everybody butchered your sweet your sweet shamrock pattern. We all did a good job on it. We really did. I'm just picking on you that we butchered it. We'd never do that. Not us. Diane, I appreciate that. I was just kidding. Stir, can you add a little bit of backing at that end so that you can cover it? Oh, awesome. I have been known, I mean, I don't know how you quilt yours. If you're doing it on a long arm or if you're doing it on a domestic sit down, domestic stand up. But I have been known, and I think on my last ASMR video for quilting, I actually show it where I shoved another piece of batting in there because I don't know what happened, but the batting either moved or shrank, which is the right word. But I put another piece of batting in at the corner because it kept pulling up in, so I added a piece of batting and showed quilting over it to make it match. I figured I'm quilting it in, so it should stay with no problem. You went dark side? I think it was great. I love the black. I love the black. Capri sit down. That's the machine you use? Yeah, I love black quilts. I just have never... I think I did one in brown, but I don't think I've ever done one in black with a black background. But I'm literally trying to get away from black, even on lives, because I feel like I'm wearing glitter when I wear black. I came in here, sat down with a clean shirt on today, and you guys can't see it because I've got the camera up, but from like here down, I am covered in thread, and I literally have sewn less than one block. Yeah, I really like the black. Okay, so we are almost at an hour. I think that my mods have got everybody's links put in already. If you haven't, this is your fair warning to go ahead and get them put in. Yeah, like I said, I like black backgrounds. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Black and green go well together anyway. And I liked the white that I used, but I'm using my white because I have a whole bolt of it. I bought it from Marshall's Dry Goods for exactly what I'm using it for. So, yeah, I'm working on that. And Brandy, you just keep using the black. That's yours, and it looks really good. You can use whatever colors you like. I mean, I could see pink or yellow. I've actually made a quilt with yellow as the background color. 10 inches of snow, Sylvia. That's not good. Yeah, Colleen, I have my black dress that I like to wear. It does the same. Wayne brought it out and said, "Has this been washed?" And I said, "Yeah, it's just, it gets thread on it, and thread sticks to everything." Okay, guys, I want to thank you guys all for being here today. A couple of things. Colleen says, "Be the light you hope to see in others." Sylvia says, "Be kind to others because you're kind, not because they are." And I say, if somebody's looking that close at your stuff, they need to go home. And I am going to Discord probably for a little bit before I finish that other block and then start on my FPP. And I will see you guys all on Monday night, if not sooner. And remember, we have Sewing Bees coming up in April, and everybody's putting up videos. And go check out the videos from Marie Scrappy Creations and Colleen from this morning. It looks like loads of fun. Like I said, I want to listen to it. That's why I'm not going to be in Discord a long time, because I actually want to get a chance to sit down and hear it. Bye, guys. Have a great day, and thank you for coming.